The tropical morning sun had not yet fully risen over the shimmering waters off Jakarta's northern coast on October 29, 2018, when Lion Air Flight 610, a brand new Boeing 737 MAX 8 carrying 189 souls, prepared for what should have been a routine domestic flight to Panklepantang. The tarmac buzzed with the usual activity, baggage carts humming, ground crew signaling, and pilots running pre-flight checks as passengers boarded, unaware of the storm of errors, oversights, and hidden software flaws that had already set in motion a deadly chain of events. For this jet, motion, fresh from the assembly lines of Boeing's state-of-the-art factory, held within its avionics a system called MCAS. Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, intended to counteract the plane's natural tendency to pitch upward due to its larger engines placed farther forward on the wing. And though designed with good intentions, this software had a secret. It could seize control of the aircraft's horizontal stabilizer and force the nose downward repeatedly based on data from a single angle of attack, AO, sensor, and if that sensor failed, as it did on Flight 610, MCAS would be blind and brutal, thinking the plane was in a dangerous climb when it was in fact flying level or even descending. And, tragically, just the day before, the same aircraft had experienced a similar failure on its flight from Denpasar to Jakarta, but a different crew managed to save it, largely thanks to the presence of a jump seat pilot who advised the correct checklist actions to disable the runaway trim. Yet no proper maintenance fix was done overnight, and critically, the next day's pilots were not informed of this serious malfunction, nor of the existence or behavior of MCAS itself, which Boeing had omitted from manuals and training programs to present the MAX as a plane so similar to previous 737s that pilots wouldn't need simulator time, saving money, and smoothing certification, but at a grave cost. At 6:20 a.m., Captain Bhavi Sandhya, a 31-year-old with over 6,000 flight hours, and his co-pilot Harvino began their takeoff roll from Soekarno-Hatta International Airport, unaware that the AAS sensor on the left side was feeding erroneous data, triggering MCAS shortly after takeoff, and from that moment, an invisible battle began between man and machine. The trim wheel in the cockpit began spinning on its own, forcing the nose down, and Captain Sanajia fought back, pulling on his control column, manually trimming the nose up, trying to maintain altitude, unaware that MCAS would activate again within seconds, overriding him. And as this tug-of-war raged at hundreds of miles per hour, the stick shaker, an alert that warns of an imminent stall, rattled continuously on the captain's side, adding to the confusion and stress, while conflicting airspeed and altitude readings appeared on the instruments. And though they radioed for a return to base, controllers didn't grasp the severity. And no one suggested that the pilot shut off the electric trim switches, though this was in the non-normal checklist for runaway trim because the pilots didn't know they were fighting a hidden system, not a conventional trim failure, and second by second, the aircraft climbed and dove in violent oscillations, engines at near full thrust, the crew struggling in a high-stress environment with insufficient information, cockpit warnings blaring, airmanship pitted against automation run amok, until finally Macias activated one last time, pushing the nose down so far that the pilots could not recover. The control forces became too great to overcome manually, and at 6:32 a.m., just 13 minutes after takeoff, the aircraft plunged into the Java Sea at over 500 miles per hour, disintegrating on impact and killing everyone on board, sending shockwaves through the global aviation community as investigators raced to understand how such a modern aircraft could fall from the sky so quickly, leading to the discovery of Macias and a pattern of corporate concealment, inadequate oversight, and flawed certification processes, with Boeing initially insisting the plane was safe. Even as whispers of a second Macias-related crash on Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 just months later would confirm systemic issues, ultimately grounding the 737 MAX fleet worldwide for nearly 2 years, and igniting a storm of congressional hearings, lawsuits, criminal investigations, and questions about the FADA deference to manufacturers, the ethics of cost-cutting over safety, and the boundaries of trust in modern automation, as grieving families demanded accountability while pilots and regulators reevaluated the balance between human control and computer logic in the cockpit. And though the aircraft would eventually return to service with updated software and improved pilot training, the legacy of Flight 610 endures, a sobering reminder that even in the age of advanced aviation, a single sensor, a hidden algorithm, and a breakdown in communication can conspire to end nearly 200 lives in a matter of minutes, and that behind every air disaster is a complex web of human decisions, technical assumptions, institutional pressures, and moments where the right information shared at the right time might have changed the course of history, sparing not just the passengers aboard, but also the confidence of a flying public that had trusted a name, a plane, and a promise that skies were safer than ever.